On our last post, we spoke about Meyer Lansky's influence and love affair with the American Mafia. Sit back and relax as Sonny Grosso presents the new Syndicate. Meyer Lansky and his friends organized a protective society in order to defend themselves against the Italian and Irish street gangs. Lansky and his younger brother Jacob were joined by Meyer Mike Wassel, Samuel Red Levine, Irving Tabo Sandler, Joseph Doc Stacher, and several others. Some accounts are varied about how and when Lansky met Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. One account claims that Lansky met Siegel and Charles Luciano the same day when Lansky intervened in an altercation between Siegel and Luciano over a prostitute that Luciano was pandering. However, this story has never been corroborated in Lansky's authorized biographies. According to Lansky, Siegel and Lansky met on the street corner in the poverty-stricken Lower East Side of Manhattan when they were both teenagers. Returning home from school one day, Lansky witnessed a street craps game break out into a fight when police whistles were heard. As the law drew near, Lansky forced Siegel to drop a gun that Bugsy was trying to brandish. Siegel was pissed with Lansky about losing the gun. Despite the confrontation, Siegel and Lansky became close friends. In the outfit, Lansky was considered the brains, while Siegel was the brawn. Siegel, the youngest of the gang, was known around his neighborhood as Che, a Yiddish word meaning untamed or animal. He had a reputation for having a short temper, and people described him as being crazier than a bedbug, which gave him the nickname Bugsy, that he came to hate. He was known to beat anyone who called him Bugsy. Maybe worse, the two soon formed a gang called the Bugs and Meyer Mob. In the early 1920s, the Bugs and Meyer Mob was in operation, working with Charles Lucky Luciano and Luciano's right-hand man, Frank Costello. Lansky and Siegel recruited expert gunmen. They supplied bootleggers with stolen trucks and drivers. Lansky was experienced with automobiles and mechanics, and soon the Bugs and Meyer Mob was active in car theft. At this time, they were joined by Abner Longy Zwillman and his brother Irving, Mo Sedway, and Louis Lepke Buchalter. The gang handled protection, truck hijacking, murder, and illegal gambling. They were also enforcers of Costello in both New York and Louisiana. They were ultimately responsible for helping to destroy or subordinate by assassination and political bribery most of the Italian-American gangs. The gang became known for their violence as they would extort money from Jewish moneylenders and storekeepers, as well as Irish and Italian shop owners and gamblers. The Bugs and Meyer Mob fronted illegal operations by owning a car and truck rental garage that served as a warehouse for stolen goods. Lansky and Siegel, being longtime associates of Luciano, would frequently employ the gang to work with Joe Adonis's Broadway mob throughout the 1920s. During this period, the New York City Police Department recalled the gang being vicious. One veteran New York detective described Siegel as seeming to like to do the jobs himself. He got his kicks out of seeing his victims suffering, groaning, crying, and dying. During the Castellammarese War, Lansky and Siegel helped Luciano eliminate the Mustache Pete's and organize the modern American Mafia. Bugsy Siegel, along with Joe Adonis, Albert Anastasia, and Vito Genovese, was reputedly one of the hitmen that shot and killed Joe Masseria on April 15th, 1931. Lansky also assisted Luciano with the murder of Salvatore Maranzano by recruiting Jewish hitmen that included Siegel, Red Levine, and Abraham Bo Weinberg. On September 10th, 1931, Maranzano was shot and stabbed to death in his Manhattan office. When Lansky and Luciano formed the National Crime Syndicate in the early 1930s, Lansky, along with Siegel, pushed for a special outfit to handle enforcement or murders for the entire syndicate. This outfit was later named Murder, incorporated by the press. Several members of the Bugs and Meyer mob served as advisors or hitmen for Murder, Inc., when it was later headed by Lepke Buchalter and Albert Anastasia. But that's another story. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. Please remember to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Thank you. Until next time, be safe, be smart, and behave.